The end of Hollywood is here, or at least it's so near that it might arrive before the end of 2026. We'll explain why and show you that some celebrities are out of their minds, cluelessly stumbling, whistling into their own graveyard, and the industry will never be the same as AI takes over entertainment. Folks and friends, it's a fantastic day to begin yet again explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve. It's what we do with a passion, a zeal that even the Holly weirds can feel. They can't replicate it though, never, not for a single second. And folks, you're never second here. You're a first among us. So if you wouldn't mind, click the like button, drop a comment down below. And if you're not yet subscribed, we're working hard every single day to earn it from you. I have said in the past that this is the final year that you're going to go watch Toy Story or any of these other animated movies, and you can't just make that at home. And I've also said that by the end of the year, you're going to see theatrical level releases made by AI and probably better than what Hollywood makes. And I know some of you out there are deeply worried about that. Some of you are very excited about it. And some of you out there are both at the same time. I join you in the latter club. I have major concerns. And I also am excited about the democratization of entertainment and it being stripped away from Hollywood. Hollywood is now accepting the fact they're done this year. And I cannot overemphasize this. I cannot make this a bigger moment in history. I need to punctuate it somehow so that it gets into the minds of those who say, never going to happen, bro. Hollywood's done. And that's what we're going to be covering over the next 24 months. It's over. That Park Place says this: Marvel writer reacts as Tom Cruise versus Brad Pitt AI fight signals major leap in AI filmmaking, says it's likely over for us. Huge writer, legendary writer, is saying it's done, it's over. Dom Lucra, I believe is his name, has this: breaking, Hollywood has officially started panicking after Deadpool and Wolverine writer Rhett Reese reacted to viral AI video of Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. Says, I hate to say it, it's likely over for us. I'm going to play this for you folks, and I'm going to play some more of these. You'll notice we have the AI generated watermark at the bottom right. YouTube, we're not trying to present this as real. This is for educational purposes. This is coming out of the latest video gen systems. One of the things that's been said is, well, you can't do fighting, you can't do whatever. That's going away. Here's the latest. Now, none of that is real. Not a bit of that is real, but it's getting to the point where you got to say, However, the lesser intelligent of those around us, aka Simu Liu, who is a perennial favorite of those who have no neurons working, real moron he, Simu Liu of Marvel status says, LOL, anyone who has ever watched a martial arts movie knows this is absolute dog crap. Now, Simu Liu is a full-blown idiot. And here's why. Do you all remember Will Smith eating the spaghetti 3 years ago? And do you know how much it's progressed?
They say he's still eating spaghetti to this day.
To this day. You got me. If it's this good, folks, in 2 months, it'll look, you just can't. It's speeding up. It's getting better and better and better, okay? How much better is it getting? And these are the latest things that just came out. This Sea Dance thing that's here, that's just come out, it's one of two. There's also Kling 3, and Sora is going to release a new version, and that Gemini is going to release a new version. Take a look. Single prompt. Shampoo commercial. Here we go. None of this is real, YouTube, and we're admitting it.
Strength in every drop. Shine that lasts.
Okay, single prompt. It's just doing whatever. Let's go again. Says, we are genuinely cooked. I'm one of the most up-to-date people on earth when it comes to AI. This from ChatGPT 21, Chris. But I will admit I was sort of mindlessly scrolling and I came across this video. I didn't even think it was AI. Then I realized this never happened in Breaking Bad. YouTube, we know this is not real. We're admitting this is not real. Educational purposes, here you go.
Hey, sir, you can't be back here.
Whoa.
Jump Jonas, I told you to censor these things. What are you doing, man? Get your finger on the button.
I wasn't sent this beforehand. By the way, did the door open on its own? That's the only complaint I've seen.
Oh, here we go. Here we go again.
Pointed out, oh, the door opened without anybody being apparent to open the door. Therefore, it's not going to work. Like, okay, sure. We've never had a continuity error in a Hollywood film before, have we?
Never. Lauren, I want to start with you. This, I said this was going to happen by the end of the year. We are at the cusp of it happening at the beginning of the year. We are in February. I think Hollywood's done. I think that anybody can make anything they want by December. And for better or worse, that's where entertainment is going. I don't know what it means for actors. I have said in the past, and I still believe it, that live performances will become the premium now. You go to your local theater, you go to Broadway, that'll be where the money is. But it's over for Hollywood, in my opinion. Where am I wrong, Lauren? What in the world would save the traditional studio entertainment system now?
Well, I agree with you that the action's getting better, and obviously fight choreography is getting better. I think where things still look unnatural is when you're cutting between shots. A lot of that is because you still have a limited time frame that you can make for the video, and so you've got to somehow blend that together. But even that's getting better, and as that improves, and as the voice simulation and lip sync gets better, I think you're right, and that's when the legal system is going to have to start getting involved and making sure that we have a way to distinguish between what's real and not. Because
what's our timeline, Lauren?
Oh man,
how fast is this going to happen?
I couldn't even begin to predict. It's like 30 years ago when we were all talking about all of this as a theoretical, I said there was no way we would ever get to this point. It was impossible. The processing that would be required, we'd never reach it. It never occurred to me back then that cloud computing and massive aggregation of resources would solve that problem.
Right, the data centers.
Right, and so now, looking back on the predictions that I had then, that we solved those problems in under 30 years is mind-boggling to me. This and especially things like the AI music creation, which also still needs some work, but it's getting better and better. And back then I would have told you impossible, never will happen.
And I'll tell you this too, Lauren, on the AI music stuff. Last year when we started Prelude Pro Radio and Vacation Radio, we had actual artists in Nashville helping us. And then we would fill in a lot of stuff with AI. We had contributors like Jeremy, stuttering guitarist. We had Ron send us some stuff. And then we would fill in the gaps with AI. Today, as much as I want humans to be an important part of that, AI will actually produce audio that you can't tell the difference, or the audio sounds better and it's split into individual tracks and all that kind of stuff. Ron, let me go to you on this. What are your thoughts on, Toy Story 5 is the last Pixar movie that comes out that you can't also make something that's just as good as it. That's it. This is the end. And the beginning of something else, Ron.
As good as AI is starting to get, I'm wondering if we should check on how Sokovia is doing. Is there any robot that might be trying to create a meteor out of a city over in Europe? Wow, it's very impressive. This is much more impressive than the stupid insurance commercials that come on, because those I can still tell are AI, but it's advancing so fast, and it's not just AI. There are other independent because first of all, independent creators can do this for a lot less expensive. But look at Iron Lung. That was a YouTuber that created this movie very much on the cheap compared to what a Hollywood budget would be. And it's doing extremely well at the box office for its production budget. Whereas, you look at, we just did the comparison of Snow White losing over $170 million for the Disney company.
It's over 300.
Yeah, I'm sure. And companies cannot, like a Disney company, you look at the stock, it's going down right now. They cannot afford to do this. Dana Wilton, whatever we want to call her, right? She is now investigating all of the ways in which Disney can utilize AI in the production of future films. As much as the Avatar films have cost James Cameron, and we can see diminishing returns on those. What choice are they going to have but to go with AI? If they can recreate something that looks extremely realistic with AI for 1/100th of the budget of taking all those people into those studios with the tanks. I mean, imagine the cost of what they put into, making the Avatar films and taking all the actors and doing all the training to put them under the water and the different things that they had to go through. That's an incredible expense. Tom Cruise probably would not go for it. He would still want to make Maverick or his next Maverick film the old-fashioned way, and that's great because I think that there is something about the human condition that when it comes to stuff like that, we can kind of catch. And I think there was, and the story, of course, is important too in all of that. But with what AI is going to be able to do, and the fact of the matter is you don't need to be like you did 30 years ago in Hollywood to make it.
Yep, you don't have to be in Hollywood to make it. Let me go to Nat, and well said, Ron, although he is frozen in place. He's went full Disco Yeti animatronic mode. Nat, Simu Liu is whistling straight into the graveyard for his career. And I got to say, of all the celebrities that might go away, I hope it's Simu Liu first. Nat, how wrong is Simu Liu, do you think, or do you believe, contrary to what I think, that AI is going to be taken over?
Well, I mean, I don't know much about martial arts. That would be a better question for the guy because he does a lot of jujitsu and teaches it and everything. But I will say I'm not a big fan of AI, aside from the democratizing of being able to do movies and etc. without, Hollywood having to be involved. But I might get a little bit philosophical here. But what does it say for the condition of humanity that for the longest time we've gotten values, morals, and taught kids through stories and through telling stories and journeys? What does it mean when it's a machine that's making those stories? And how would that impact our morals and values on the long run?
Absolutely. And people are making, by the way, various versions of this now as they can because these systems allow it. Here's Tom Cruise fighting some robot, I guess. We'll play this.
That appears to be the one from Wild Robot, or an AI approximation of it.
Right, there you go. There they are. Let's see. Brad Pitt's joining them. They're fighting together against it. So
yeah, have you seen what they're fighting about, by the way? They're fighting about the Island Man.
Yes. So we'll play that again, folks. It's amazing that we can do this, but this is entertainment on demand. And I agree on all that. Listen, we are heading for major social unrest over this. We are heading for major economic realignment with this. We're also heading for the unlocking of creativity like you can't believe from independent content creators. But there is a very soon coming. This is not way off in the distance now. There's a very soon coming time when you can sit down in front of your TV in the next 2 to 3 years and say, here's what kind of movie I want to watch. And I don't want it made by Hollywood. I want this different kind because 3 years and accelerating, folks. You can just see where we're headed.
Can I just point this out? I've mentioned this on several channels that I do this, is that if I want to watch a movie with my kids and it's really close as far as the content goes, I will edit that film myself. So, there's I have a version of Chef, the Jon Favreau movie that is not appropriate for kids, but I've found a way to do that whole thing, and I do a pretty good job with it. It actually doesn't appear to have any seams in it for the most part. What if I could just literally take a Hollywood film and say, okay, from here to here, remove that part of the dialogue. Instead of saying what in the F this or that, he just says, what is this, or what in the world? Like, this is something to where I'm going to have, if I ever want to actually watch Game of Thrones, I could say, okay, well, remove the hookers and the pornography. And I'm going to have my own version of it where we get the spirit of the line instead of all the cursing. And this is just me as a person who's not wanting to have things that pollute the mind inside my kids' media diet here. You mean you don't want a Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime, and you can just be like, bring me the Beatles instead. Right. We're going to watch the Beatles today. Say it's going to be the Beatles and Aerosmith playing together, and it's going to be this era of Aerosmith on a dragon, and Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones. In this era when he was really hitting it, and also Led Zeppelin, and they have cats with jetpacks. Right. And you can have literally anything you want, but also I think people are going to accept a lot less from Hollywood at this point. Think about the first thing that's going to happen. The Duel of the Fates script that we have from Colin Trevorrow, that's going to be a fully produced film, whether or not Disney has anything to do with it at this point.
They've already started doing that. Have you seen that one?
I've not seen it yet, but any unmade script out there, there can't be a Hollywood blacklist of movies that are not made because someone is just going to go onto their own server. They're going to cast the movie themselves. They're not going to have, oh, that weird moment where Luke throws the lightsaber. That's not in my version of Last Jedi. Oh, the version where Poe turns into a whiny, pouty man-child who gets corrected by all the women. Let's say that's not in my version of The Last Jedi. Let's say the death of Snoke, probably going to cut that out too. Oh, the corny lines over here about whatever, it's not going to be in my version of Last Jedi. Oh, this is going to be something that is going to drive Hollywood directors insane. No reason to have cursing in Incredibles 2, even though Brad Bird thinks that's fine. You know, when we can have literally whatever we want, I think that's when Hollywood and people, and when the power differential is so limited here, that's when we'll have the real conversation about what actually needs to be in content.
Can I push back on that just
Please,
a little bit?
Go ahead.
I think that right now it sounds great to be able to give a prompt and get exactly what you want, but I think that also leads to apathy because you already know what you're going to get, and if you're talking about cleaning up a movie, it's going to be something that you've already seen. I think there is a place for being surprised by stuff, so when you talk about creating entertainment that is tailor-made for you, I think that a lot of times that's actually less satisfying than people think it will be. I think the more interesting thing is creating something and then experiencing what somebody else created because you have surprise as an element. So,
I think, let's say Ahsoka is in here and they say, you know what, let's take the Ahsoka of the Clone Wars and put her into this situation instead of the Ahsoka that is supposed to be whatever Dave Filoni's version of Gandalf the White is. Right. I think that this is going to be used over and over again to embarrass the people who are spending $1 billion making the Rings of Power over 2 seasons. This will be used as a cudgel against the complacency and the elitism of Hollywood, more than I think it's going to actually create anything new. Toy Story 6, it's already on my computer by the end of the week if I have something like this. You know what? And my kids will not know the difference. So if Disney's going to put out slop, like Moana 2. Yes, I called it slop. It's slop.
It is.
If they're going to do that, they might as well produce it cheaply. If they're going to produce it cheaply, I might as well do it myself.
It also got a lot easier to make Tom Cruise look taller. And I'll tell you this too, folks, as we wrap this up, by the middle of this year, here's going to be one of the first major changes that happens. By the middle of this year, and you already probably should be thinking this way, but by the middle of the year, by June, by July, nothing you see online, no pictures, no videos, can you believe to be real? Unless it comes from some source that spends the time to research it. But nothing you see anymore, unless it's with your own eyes in real life or from a reputable service that you really do trust, and maybe not them, nothing believable, nothing admissible in court, videos, audio, it's all, anything can be created, produced by AI at that point. Nat, final word on that one. How is this going to change the world?
It's terrifying, and I think we don't know the full effects of it, but at the same time, it might not be as terrible as people doomsday, although I doomsday quite a bit. So
don't be a doomsdayer. Don't black pill, Nat. It's going to be okay. We're going to see this go the right way, even if there's lots of tumult and lots of social unrest in the next few years. Good night. Game over. Drive home safely. Folks, this video is done. But before we all head home, we only ask one thing. Folks, as you get ready to head on out, consider clicking that like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those pesky algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below and share your thoughts, for a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Waste not that beautiful personality of yours. And folks, we would say, as you get ready to head out the door, that it has been an honor to spend time with you, an attitude of gratitude each and every time that you elect to join together with us. Breaking bread and breaking entertainment Well, the industry. No, we like entertainment. It's the industry that irks us sometimes. Well, it was a good time. We hope you had a good time. Folks, until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.